The following is an exclusive presentation of Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
Says he wants to run for re-election, but party politics could be a problem. We're going to talk to Town of Hyde Park Supervisor Tom Martino next on Meet the Leaders. Good evening and welcome once again to Meet the Leaders. I'm your host, Terrence Micas. Town of Hyde Park Supervisor Tom Martino has been in that role for about a year and a half. He's been a tough guy. He's kept taxes down. He's gotten the fiscal house in order, but has also ruffled some feathers, even his own party. As far as I can tell and what he has said to me, we're going to talk to him about it now. There may be a problem even getting the party line. We're going to talk to Tom Martino about all that, some of the accomplishments, the police facility, and more. Also the Filiberti case. How you doing?
Good.
So much I just said there, I don't know where to begin, but let me just jump right in. You want to run for re-election, Town of Hyde Park. Just tell me why, just to begin, then we'll get into some of the stuff I said.
The reason that I want to run, along with some of the other board members, is that we want to finish our mission, what we told the voters of Hyde Park that we would accomplish. And we're well on our way in accomplishing those things.
So what are some of the accomplishments that you feel? I know that you fiscally get the house in order, but tell me how you did it if that's the case.
Well, what we did with this year's budget was that we really took a hard look at spending. We made adjustments in the budget. For the first time, we invited department heads in, and they voiced their concerns. We gave them worksheets, they returned the worksheets to us, and we went from there. And we came out with a budget that produced a tax levy increase of 0.9%.
That's very good in these times. Now, was there a public hearing on all this?
Yes, there was.
And how much ruckus was there?
There were some people during the preliminary stages. We came out with a preliminary budget, and they thought that this was the budget that was written in stone.
But that's always the case. Preliminary budgets are not budgets that are set.
That's true. And we just pared it down. And we did this without reductions in services or cuts in personnel.
When you came into office, what did you find was the biggest fiscal problems? Because I remember you said that you thought a lot of them. What were the ones you felt you needed to do?
Well, one of the issues that I discovered was the police court. I should say the justice courts. They were hemorrhaging money. They were operating at a loss. And I spoke to the justices. I asked them why. And it was issues where various police agencies weren't showing up for court appearances, so the cases were dismissed. And what we did to help remedy that situation, we hired a traffic prosecutor. And now we're starting to put a dent into that loss. And this has never been done in Hyde Park before. So we've reduced the loss by approximately 50%.
And that's still in the works right now.
And that's still in the works.
And also you had that controversy over the comptroller and the bookkeeper. Has that panned out? And financially, how's that worked?
We have a comptroller in place now. Her name is Michelle Sadowski. She's working out really fantastic.
But financially, how?
Financially, we're really getting a handle on things. I would also like to say that the former bookkeeper filed suit against the town. And
for what? To keep her job? Or?
Wrongful dismissal, I believe, arbitrary and capricious. And the courts ruled that we were within our rights, that we can abolish positions, we can appoint people to positions, and we can also create positions.
You mean based on what you feel and the board feels is financially best for the town? Whether it is or not, that's a different issue, but I mean in terms of that was their understanding of the law.
Correct.
Okay. I saw a video of an April 24th Republican committee meeting. And, you know, I know some of the people on there, but it looked like it was a very contentious meeting. And I want to just ask you, my understanding of it was this, that bylaws were being put into place and people that objected on the committee wanted to voice their opinions and they weren't allowed to. There was a lot of shouting down. and they were trying to change procedure and ways to vote, you know, from 2/3 majority to just a simple 51% majority. And your contention, I didn't see you on there, but I got this video in my hand, and it was your voice, it sounded like. I'm assuming you were there, correct?
Correct.
And you were saying that they're going against state law, and they're not letting any public discussion, and they're trying to control the process. Is that a fair assessment of that video? Because I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I want to know.
That's very fair.
So quickly though, what went on?
People who are on committees, they are elected by the Republicans in the community by petitions. Contrary to what the committee chairman in Hyde Park may say, that they are not covered by election law, I beg to differ. They are covered by election law, and these laws have to be observed. If you don't, you're going to run into problems. And these people chose that night not to observe the election laws.
So what laws did they break? So they against state law?
State election laws.
And so what is it that you didn't like that they were doing?
The way
and others.
Well, they just pushed it through. We're going to vote on this tonight, whether you like it or not. Basically,
what was the goal of their changes, in your opinion? Because you know,
the goal of their changes was they're talking about disloyalty, that they can remove somebody or discipline somebody for disloyalty. And
their definition of disloyalty, in your opinion, was what?
Well, it could be anything. There was no definition. Disloyalty could be anything. I could say something against my opponent in a political race. That could be interpreted.
I mean, it wasn't laid out what terms of disloyalty was? It
no, it was very vague, and it was open, very open to interpretation.
What do you think the purpose of it was?
I think the purpose of it was to go after me, Mike Taylor, Jim Monks, and Mike Athanas.
But you're all Republicans.
That's correct. However, there is an issue that, and this is what the party leadership in the town of Hyde Park doesn't realize. When we were elected, it was our names that were on the ballot, not theirs. And I'm quite emphatic about this. When I ran, I told the people of Hyde Park, before I am a Republican, I am a Hyde Parker. And I represent no special interest groups. If you want to come up with a special interest group, the special interest group is the people of Hyde Park.
Well, I think in today's politics, today, right now, 2011, most people that are voting and trying to pay taxes and pay their bills are really tired of party politics. I know that sounds like a cliche, but in the past they said it, but I think people really are saying, you know what, I don't care about all that stuff. Keep my taxes down, keep the town working, keep things moving smooth, make sure it's a good place to live, and I don't want to hear about all this other stuff. But if you have a problem with the party, you can't get the party nomination. I mean, if you look in the town of Fishkill, Supervisor Pagonis didn't get the party nomination. If you look in the town of Wappinger, Supervisor Colsey didn't get the party nomination. I know that over in Highland, they're trying to knock out Ray Cosentino, who's kept taxes down and brought business in and done what most people say that aren't involved in the party politics a good job. Why are people in the parties, and again, this is, I don't know that you know the answer, you can only speak for Hyde Park, trying to knock so many of the people that are in office out? Now, I know it's different for each thing because they're different personalities, but what's the move?
Now, each one of these situations that you cited is unique to that situation.
Correct.
In Hyde Park, what the issue is that we have stood up to the party bosses. One thing that they didn't understand, like I said, that there was a technicality that my name was on the ballot, along with Taylor, Monks, and Athanas. We're the ones who have to do this every day. I'm not going to take orders from a party boss. And I'll tell you something, that had I taken orders from party bosses, the police station would have been squashed.
Was that their goal?
They did not approve of the police station, and they called me up, and they told me to kill the project.
Now, how would I know that that's a fact? I mean, you're giving me your word here. I mean,
I'm giving you my word.
So I'm going to have to, you know, check into that. But that's what, in terms of what you can say here, that they said you squashed the Republicans in the party.
Not committee. All the Republicans. The leadership wanted that project squashed.
And why?
The basis was that they got hundreds of phone calls from constituents. I never got one phone call.
So the people called the party, but they didn't call the supervisor?
Right. Who did not approve of the vote.
So, but the shovels are in the ground, and most people would agree, I think, that the town of Hyde Park police need a police station to work out of, because where they work out of is almost embarrassing.
Most definitely. The police court facility is becoming a reality. According to the general contractor, we're ahead of schedule on the construction project.
Speaking of police, I know you can't say much, but when I think of Hyde Park, I think of the Filiberti case. And people still are feeling angst about that. This young girl loses her life. I know Chief Bro, I know the Sheriff's Department, I know Dutchess County DA, I know all the people, they're all working hard towards it. These things are not always simple. But people are waiting and waiting. What's going on? As much as you could say.
As much as I can say. We have professionals handling this case. We have the DA, his office is involved, of course, the Sheriff's Department. Speaking with Chief Bro, on any given day, there's at least 8 people working on this case. I'm confident, very confident, that the Hyde Park Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, and the DA's office, they're going to close this case. But one thing I do want to stress is that they're the professionals. For me to comment as to what's going on would be premature on my part, and I would also be compromising the integrity of this investigation.
Okay.
So I'm just leaving this to the professionals.
Okay, so I'll just ask you one more question. You're optimistic because you want to believe it and you feel justice needs to be done because it was such a horrible thing, or you're confident because you just know it's going to be closed?
Terrence, let's say it's both.
Okay.
Okay? It was a horrific act. This was a young woman. She was a member of the community. She was a daughter, a granddaughter, a sister. She was also a daughter of the community. And for this to happen, and if there's any case that ever begged to be solved, it's this one. And I'm quite confident that it will be solved.
Okay. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, we're going to talk more with Hyde Park Supervisor Tom Martino. We're just getting started. We're going to talk to him, talk about a lot of other things going on in Hyde Park, some of the highway work and some of the public hearings that he was in the middle of that were a little contentious and other things, so stay right there.